This Let's Play was supported by these awesome hobby companies.
Hello everybody, I have been joined by Leo from Bellum, and today we are going to be showing you how to play Conquest. Now, Leo, this is my first run through the game, so be gentle.
Yeah.
Be gentle.
Yeah, what we're playing right now is actually quite interesting, because most of the things that we're going to play with right now for our first game is almost like straight out of the box. So we're given the fact that we're going to be having so many miniatures into the game and about 6 warbands, you're going to be able to play the starting scenario right off the bat and be very easy to scale up from there. Okay.
Now, a warband, that's how you describe each individual unit, yeah?
Yes. Every unit, we describe it as a warband. It's comprised of a stand that has 4 miniatures on it if it's infantry, or 1 miniature on it if it's a brute or a cavalry base.
Okay.
And also we have the larger bases that are the monsters. They usually are 1-stand warbands on their own.
Okay, so what you have set up for us here is essentially what you would bring to like a convention or something to actually run a demo for someone who has came up to the stand and wants to learn about the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have 3 units each on the table. And 1 in reserve each, yes?
Yeah, the Hunter Kingdom army has a warband of the feudal knights in reserve, whilst the Spires have a warband of brute drones.
Okay, so can you very quickly just point to me what each unit is on the tabletop so I know what I'm looking at here, okay?
Alrighty, so here we have the crossbowmen. We're talking about armor-piercing shooting overall, and range capacity. These are the men-at-arms. This is the mainstay infantry of the Hunter Kingdoms. Reliable infantry, sword and shield. These are the Steel Legion. These are heavy armored fighters with 200 swords, armor piercing, very good at combat.
Okay, and on your side, just so I know what I should maybe think about targeting first?
Yeah, definitely. These are the force-grown drones. These are the mainstay infantry of the Spires. They're cheap to make. They're reliable. They are there to hold the ground. On the very center, we have the Thresher Abomination. This is one of the monsters. Actually, this is included in the box set, in the starter set. Yeah, you start right off the bat with this monster. And as a matter of fact, the objective for today is for you to try and kill it. And then
your objective then?
My objective is to keep it alive for 3 rounds. So,
okay.
So yeah, or wipe out the humans. One of the two. We'll see how it plays out.
Okay.
And here we have the marksman clones. These are elite archers. They're mutated to have a 3rd arm so they can fire faster and so on.
Okay. Well, I assume this is a preset scenario, so we're not seeing every little detail of stuff. This is getting the main mechanics down for everybody getting into their minds, yeah?
Actually, in a game of Conquest, nothing starts on the table. So right here, now we assume that the game starts around the 4th or 5th round.
Okay, okay. And what, so as stuff's coming in, is it, as it dies, is it recycled, or is it literally when it's dead, but you still have stuff to bring in?
When it's dead, it's dead. And yeah, you do have things to bring in. Actually, we have 3 weight classes for the warbands. That is light, medium, and heavy. Okay. So at the very first stages of the game, you bring your light warbands in, you try to get to move up the board. And as you do that, actually your medium and heavier warbands come in further up.
I see.
So yeah, you keep bringing your units into the game.
Okay, well, how do we begin? Who's taking the first turn?
Before we even start taking turns, what we have to do is that we have to pick up our cards, our command cards from the table. So you have 3 in front of you, and I have 3 as well. Now, given the fact that we start on the 4th turn, we also have reinforcements. Usually we roll for reinforcements, but we're going to assume right now they're coming automatically. So right now you have the command cards in front of you. Now these right now also act as references, but what they actually are is if we put them in order into a command stack, we get to decide what plays first. So the card put on top will be activating first.
Okay.
Put it like this.
I think I'll go this way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's mine down.
Perfect. So now that we have a range of command stacks, now it's time to see who gets to play first. So we're going to roll a die.
Yeah. 2 for me.
2 for you and a 1 for me. so you get to go first.
Okay.
Now, whoever has the fewest amount of cards available to him at that point gets a +1 or a -1, depending on how that player wants to use it.
Oh, so they decide if it's a +1 or a -1?
Yeah, sometimes you'll find it quite useful to play second.
That's interesting. That's a nice little bit of tactical depth.
Yeah, sometimes you want to lure your opponent to play in. Now, because the whole thing here is that you're going to be drawing your first card, you're going to be activating that card, and then it's my turn to play. So we don't play everything.
I see. So it's I activate a unit, you activate a unit.
And then that's how it goes.
Okay, so our threat assessment has to kind of be on point.
Yeah.
All right, well, I've chosen my first unit here. I will go with the Steel Legion,
okay.
which is my big two-handed sword guys. So I'll pop the card down beside them here just to remind myself I've activated them. Alrighty.
Now, the moment you activate a warband, you get to have 2 actions. So we don't have phases in game in Conquest, but what we do is that every time we activate, we have a list of actions to choose from. Right now, we have out of combat and in combat actions.
Okay.
Right now, you're out of combat. So what you can do is you can move, you can charge, you can place yourself tactically, whatever. What would you like to do?
Am I allowed to pre-measure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing these guys have a move of 4. So if I have a look at this.
That's the march characteristic of 4.
Yeah, so just about 8 here to actually reach them.
That's 8 inches, yeah.
So if I march, does that put me into combat, yeah?
You cannot come into combat just by marching, but what you can do is that you can charge. Charge is an action. As a matter of fact, charge does not entail actually hitting the opponent. It's not an attack action. So you have to charge as your first action and then attack. That's quite useful because sometimes you might want to gain a little bit of space so you can march and then charge, but you pay for that by not being able to attack.
Okay, how do I charge?
So the first thing that you do, you measure the distance that we measure from closest to closest point, and you measure that this is 8 inches.
Yes.
So what you have to do is that you have to roll a die, and the result has to be enough that when added to your march covers that distance. So you have to roll a 4 and up.
Okay. You know what? Let's give it a try. Let's see if I can get into combat.
The 6. Perfect. So that's a total of 10 inches. Yeah, absolutely. You can make it. Now, it doesn't matter how far you actually move, as long as you roll enough to cover the distance between the closest points of the 2 warbands.
So it won't matter that this is actually over 10 inches.
No.
I will swing around in.
Yeah.
Okay, so forward and in then.
Now, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to maximize contact with our warbands. Now, that's very important because we want to have as many stands. A stand is the base on which the models are on. We want as many stands to be engaged. Now, every stand that is in stand contact with another warband is considered engaged. Every stand that is not in contact with an enemy, it's an unengaged stand.
I see. So all of my 3 stands are now engaged, yeah?
Absolutely.
Excellent. So I will spend my second action to attack then.
Yep. Alrighty, so you'll see that you have a characteristic of the A that stands for attack, and that is 1 per model. You have 12 models, so you get 12 attacks.
Okay, if I grab all of the red dice, that should be 12.
Yeah, that's correct.
4.
Here you go. Now, the concept here is that you want to be rolling equal to or less than the characteristics printed on the card.
Okay.
So you'll see that you have a class, the C of 3. Now, class is your martial prowess, how good you are at combat. So what you want to do is that you want to roll equal to or less than that.
Okay.
So the higher the stat, the better the unit, the better the combat capacity of the warband.
Okay. Do I get any bonus for having charged?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, what you do is that when you charge, you get an inspiration bonus to reflect the momentum that you have by charging. The inspiration bonus is actually a +1 to your class characteristic.
Okay.
So now you have 3. You're going to be rolling as if you had 4.
Okay, so 4 or less on 12 dice.
1, 2, 3s, and 4s. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's see what we get.
It's quite a hit.
There and there. So that's 8 hits, I think.
Yeah. Now I have to roll straight for my armor, for my defense. I
don't have to roll the wound?
No. It's a straight up defense.
Okay.
I have a defense of 1. Now this is a very basic unit, and you're fighting with an elite unit. And you see that my warband has a defense of 1. I have +1 because of my sealed. Anything that attacks me from the front, I get this bonus. The thing is though that you have a special rule that's called Great Cleave.
Okay.
Cleave gives you a -1 to your armor, but Great Cleave is actually -2, which means that I don't get to get any saves at all. So 8 guys are out. Okay,
so just instantly 8 dead.
Absolutely. This is a very fast pace in terms of how casualties are removed. And this is a game that we focus heavily on trades between the 2 players. Now, And also, this is a very basic warband that you, but it's there to handle, to try and slow down your most powerful unit. Now, after I've taken my casualties, for every wound that my warband takes, I have to also roll a resolve test. Now, resolve is the way that we reflect morale in Conquest. Actually, in this game, you'll never find your warband running away, but what you have is that you'll have individual models running away.
Yeah, they've seen their friends die, and they're just like, I don't like it today.
Yeah, and so we feel it's a more organic, more natural way of troops fleeing.
Yeah, sure.
So I'll have to take I have to take 1 die for every wound that you have caused me, and I have to roll a resolve test.
Okay.
Now I have a resolve of 2. Having a larger warband, that means from 4 to 6 stands. Which, by the way, these are the actual sizes that you're going to find in the core set.
Okay.
We're talking about 6, a big block of 6 stands.
Okay.
So I have to roll now a resolve test. I have a resolve of 2. I get +1 because I have a larger warband. Any roll of 1, 2, and 3. It's a save and success. Every roll above that now, it's 1 model that I have to remove.
Ooh, okay, let's see what you get.
So that is a whole stand that runs away. Now that's actually interesting because what happened is that in 1 round, you have removed from the game half of my warband. Now what that means is now I'm broken. Broken is pretty much means that you have to do a rally action. In your next time you play with this warband.
Basically, you lose 1 action, yeah?
Exactly. Okay. So if I rally, I will not be able to inspire myself and hit you back. I will have to only hit with my basic stat. I won't be able to muster the courage to attack you full on. Okay.
Well, I assume your turn now, because that's
Absolutely.
my 2 actions. And what are you going to activate with?
My first activation is going to be the Thresher Abomination. We'll put that card right there.
Hello.
Now this is the big monster that I have to play with. Now, I will be. Let's see. What should I charge? Should I charge the big block there, or the crossman? I'm going to go for the men at arms.
Okay. So
again, I want to charge. You have to be within my line of sight. That you have to be within my front arc. Actually, single stand warbands do not have a 360 line of sight.
And what about my normal block here? What would their
you
vision be?
measure your line of? You see your line of sight from the first rank. 90 degrees.
So it's this way out from it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, what's your move?
Okay, I have a march of 10.
Okay.
We are about 10 inches away.
Okay.
Now, what that means is that even if I roll a 1, I'm still able to charge.
Okay.
Now, that's something that is very important for us because we want to make sure that we can always, if we play our game right and if we maneuver in the right way, we're always able to charge and make that crucial charge. So I will just charge the Abomination.
Okay, and you don't need to roll because you know you're well in.
Exactly. I'm 12. Even if I roll a 1, that will be 11. So that would make the distance. You notice that I put the card every time I activate behind the warband I'm activating. Now that's very important because cards are not. It's not a card per warband. It's card per type. So if I had 2 abominations, I will get to choose which one I activated. So that gives a little bit more flexibility. That gives you a little bit more, a little bit more room to react. Okay, so I charge your warband. Now, because I have my abomination is a monster, I also get to cause impact hits.
Oh.
Now, impact hit is the sheer weight of the brute of the monster crushing on top of your warband, and that actually is a rule both for brutes and cavalry.
Okay.
They get to cause impact attacks. So. The first thing I check is that I see my attack characteristic of 10. Before we move on to my second action, I will have to do the impact attacks, which is half those attacks.
Okay.
So I have 5 attacks.
There you go, sir.
Now, when I impact, I do not get any bonuses that clash would, unless I have a special rule that says so. Right now, I have a clash of 2, so 1s and 2s.
Okay.
No hits.
Ooh, night. The one time you don't want to see 4s, 5s, and 6s.
I know, right? Yeah.
Weird.
We play the game and we see 6s, and suddenly we realize wait a minute, that's not very good. But yeah. So now I get to play my second action, and that's my clash.
Okay, so there's another 5 dice.
For 10 dice overall, now I do get the inspiration bonus for successful charging. So now 1, 2s, and 3s, exactly.
Okay. Oof.
That's a good hit. However, I have a special rule that's called Flurry. That means I get to re-roll fail to hit rolls.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
So let's see. That is 2 more hits.
Ouch. Okay, so my guys, they're armored, they have a shield.
Yeah, you took 7 hits, so you have to roll 7 defense rolls.
Okay.
Now, you have a defense of 2, +1 because you have a shield, that's 3. However, I do have cleave, so that I have just basic cleave, so I reduce your armor by 1.
So 1s and 2s?
Exactly.
Ooh. Let's see what I can do here. Come on, dice don't fail me now.
Oh, they stood up quite well.
So 4 dead.
Exactly.
So from here, I just grab one of these, yeah?
Exactly. We have to be removing models so to remove complete stands. And we remove models from the back.
Yes.
Now, as before, we have to roll for resolve checks. So that's 4 resolve checks for you.
Yes.
You have a resolve of 2. You have a large warband, 4 to 6 models, 4 to 6 stands, so you get +1 to that. However, the Thresher Abomination has the terrifying special rule that gives you a -1 to that.
1s and 2s again?
Exactly.
Okay. Come on.
Oh,
2 more go.
yeah.
And I will just pop these guys out of the bases. There we go. Ouch.
Yeah, that was a good hit.
Yeah,
And-
but not 50%.
Yeah, true.
So I'm
I still have to
broken.
now the Abomination is a little bit in danger, but we'll see. So you draw your next card.
okay. So my next card, I actually went for the crossbowman.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be activating these gentlemen up here, and it's actually good that you've told me that they have that 45 degree from the front here, because I think I can see your Abomination here.
Yeah, and actually, you not only can you see it, but you can shoot at it in close combat.
Ah.
Yeah. What you'll see, there are 2 things here. One is that if you can see your target clearly, no matter whether that is in close combat or not, you can shoot at it.
Okay.
The other thing is that because the Abomination has a larger size, Abomination is size 3, while your regular infantry is size 1, you can see over your infantry, and even if you were behind your own men, you could still shoot at it.
Ah, so if I was like right here, I could still see it to shoot it?
Yeah, it would count as obstructed, but you could still see it and shoot at it normally.
Okay, well, I have to work out the range on these guys is
You'll see
20?
that, exactly. Now, 20 inches, though, is your maximum range. It's not your effective range.
Okay.
What that means is that when you're firing within half that distance, within 10 inches, you get to fire full shots.
Okay.
But when you fire more than 10 inches away, you can only fire half of your shots. It's considered obstructed.
Okay. Okay,
As
so
to reflect
obstructed is just half your shots.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they do not stack. So if you are over half your distance and the opponent gets any sort of cover, it's still obstructed.
Okay, well, what if this was the case then? Say this was way back down the board, my unit was in front of it, and I was at my max range to shoot it. It's obstructed because of max range, and it's also obstructed because of my unit. Does that stack?
No,
or
not at
is
all.
it just flat obstructed?
Not at all. You flat out just fire half your shots.
Okay, well, let's work out what I have. Tape, please.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see if I am within 10
Now,
inches
in
here.
order to see whether, first of all, you have to see line of sight. I have to be within your front arc, and I am. And there needs to be no piece of terrain or anything that is of the equal size or above, so you can see me clearly.
Yes.
Or over other things.
Yes.
Now, the other thing you have to see is to see whether you are able to, whether you're in range from each individual stand. So it is possible for some stands to fire full shots, while other stands only fire half shots.
Well, this stand is actually just about in, and the others are definitely in.
Yeah, we always measure from closest to closest point. So right now you get a little bit of a choice. You can either use your first action to aim. Aim means you get a +1 to your volley statistic.
Okay.
And then shoot. Or you can move in half distance, so all warbands will be, all stands will be firing at full shots.
Okay. Already in, so I think I will just aim for the +1 to hit.
Exactly.
And then it's how many guys here? So
We have 8 guys within range, within half range, so that's 8 shots, and then we have another stand that is out of half distance.
I actually think they are within the half distance.
Oh.
So 10 inches here, you say?
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yeah, they're all in. Good.
Yeah.
So 12 inches.
Yeah. So
12 shots.
So I'll just roll all the red dice, and then which stat am I using?
That's
for
the volley. That's a V.
So the V is 2.
Yeah, and
Aimed for 3.
exactly.
Okay.
V stands for volley, and that's the how good you are at shooting.
Okay. And
Let's see.
ugh, that, and those. So that's the hits.
Yeah, and this is a miss, and we have
whoops,
5 hits.
sorry.
Now I have a defense of 3. Now that's -1 because you have cleave. You are armor piercing shot, so I save on 1s and 2s.
Okay.
Let's see. Now none of the wounds is being saved.
Ouch.
Ouch. Now, usually, once again, I would have to take resolve checks. However, you never take resolve checks from shooting.
Ah, I see.
That's a way to make the game more about maneuverability and less about shooting. Shooting will always complement your strategy, but it will never be the thing that wins you the game.
Got it. Got it.
So that's quite a good damage. Yeah, that's half my health. I have to pick up my game here. So I activate my next warband, and that is the Force-Grown Drones right here. Now these are my guys right here. The issue is here that they're broken. Now the thing with broken is that if you have your warband broken, it's all right. You can rally, you lose one action, and you play the game. However, if you break a unit and then you break it again, the warband then becomes shattered, and you have to remove it from table.
Ah, okay.
So if you take too much damage in a single round, now all soldiers break and they just removed off the table.
Yeah, they look at it and go, everyone is just dying, going down around me. This is not for us today.
Exactly, exactly.
Cool.
So I have my first action will be to reconsider their life choices and rally.
Yeah.
The second action will be to attack you.
Okay.
So let me grab these dice. I think they're 12. See. Okay, so 4, 8, and 12.
Okay. Now, just because we're not seeing it here, you did have an additional rank there. What would be the advantage if you still had that additional rank?
Any warband, first of all, the ranks are usually not engaged. Any stand that is not engaged, that is not in contact with an enemy warband, is considered a non-engaged stand. Now, what that means is that when the warband fights, the non-engaged stands support with attacks. That's usually 1 attack per stand, but if you have the support special rule, such as these guys, you get to be supported by 2 attacks for each unengaged stand.
That could be useful.
So I have a class of 1. Now this is just light infantry. These are just drones, so they're not very good at combat. But let's see what we can do. So I have 2 hits.
Yep. And is it just once?
Yeah, just once, because I have a class of 1. I didn't get to inspire and get a +1 because you've broken me when you play. So you have 2 saves. You have a defense of 3.
Okay, 2 saves on 3 then.
See.
Save 1 dice.
Exactly.
That's fair enough.
And then you take 1 more resolve test.
Yep. So 1 resolve test on a 6, another 1 dice. That's not horrendous, to be honest with you. Losing 2 guys.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Okay, I'll pop them there, just out of the road.
So that was my round, and now you draw your next card.
Yep. So the next one for me, I went for the men-at-arms.
Definitely.
Because I had hoped to actually get the charge on them, but I didn't. Thankfully, they're not broken, so my options are now inspire for a +1 and then attack.
When you're in combat, yeah, you have the following actions. You can inspire, you can attack, you can withdraw. That would be good. At this point, not kill my monster, but you can withdraw. You can reform if you want to change your facing and face an attacker that you have on the sides.
Okay.
So yeah, there are quite a bit of things.
Okay, I think I will inspire and attack. Now I can't attack and attack.
No, unfortunately not. The only action you can do twice is march.
Okay, then they will attack, so I assume each guy gets 1, so the front rank is 12, and the other 2 ranks are +1, so 14 dice.
Exactly.
Okay, white dice, please.
Yeah.
And I'll
you have a class of 2. If you inspire, you get a class of 3.
5. I am inspiring for 3, and that's 12, and that's 14.
Exactly.
Okay, so on 3s then, because I am inspiring. Oh, that's a lot of 6s.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Oh, the number of times I would love to see that number of 6s.
I know. Like every time I instinctively get so excited, and then realize like, oh,
yeah,
just once.
Well, there is 6 hits.
Yeah. So I have a defense of 3. You do not have a cleave or anything else, so I have to save on 3s, and that is 3 more wounds.
Oof.
I'm up to 8 now. I'm down to 8.
Yeah.
So let's put a 6 and a 2 right here for us to remember, and I also have to roll 3 resolve checks, and that is all good. I have a resolve of 3, a 4, excuse me. So I took 3 wounds, so I had to roll 3 resolve checks.
Yes.
Monsters are quite tough
when
it comes down to their resolve, so they are more likely to stand in the ground and then just frenzy and fight it off.
Yeah, they're not going to look down and go, oh, no, the ants are stabbing me in the ankles. I shouldn't be here. They'll look down and go, ants are stabbing me in the ankles. I should squish those.
True that, yeah, definitely.
Okay, yours?
My next card is going to be the Marksman clones.
Okay.
Right here. These are the elite archers of the spires. So what I'm aiming for here is to try and kill some of your craftswomen. So you will not be able to shoot me in close combat. So that could be one thing, or the other thing I could do is to maneuver myself so to shoot at your Steel Legion to the flank. So what I'm going to go for is I'm going to go for to shoot the craftswomen.
Okay.
They're a more immediate threat. So I can always pre-measure. Now I'm within 13 inches.
Yeah.
Now what that is that I have an overall range of 20 inches. So you're within my half range. What I'm going to do here is that I'm going to aim, and then I'm going to shoot at you.
Okay.
So I have a volley of 3. They're actually quite good at shooting. So that's
a lot of fire.
That is 12 attacks.
Uh-huh.
I aim. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, now 4 because I aim.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 6 and the 5s are
out of there.
Miss. Now I have a special rule that's called rapid volley.
Okay.
So for every roll of a 1, I get an automatic additional hit.
Automatic additional hit. So 1 and 2.
Another 2.
Yikes.
I had 2 aces, and I add 2 to that. Now these, actually, that was a really good shot. And these are all the defense rolls that you have. You have a defense of 1.
Yes.
So unfortunately, they're not very well armored.
Is it just on ones?
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna suck. Prepare to die.
That's one guy, one saved, and that's
one duck behind his mate.
9 guys.
9 guys. Okay. So if it's 9 guys, it's 12 there, so 3 left. So I pop this out of here and then just remove 2 bases.
Exactly. Now, as we said, you do not take resolve tests from shooting. So these 3 craftsmen are going to stay there. They're broken because they lost half of their stance. And now next turn when you play, you have to rally them and continue playing as normal.
Okay, so what's my next option? Well, I have to activate next.
Yeah.
You've went. So let's just quickly clear the dice out of here. My last activation, I actually saved them to the end just to see what would open up, is the cavalry.
Yeah. Now, reserves is something that we see a lot into the game, given the fact that we start with nothing on the table. Now, what we do is usually at the very beginning of the turn, we determine which one is our foremost warband. In this particular case, that will be the Steel Legion. Now, we care about the distance covered, right? Yes. So we care about the back of the warband. So you see, what we do is that we draw an imaginary line behind the warband across the field.
Yes.
And this is our reinforcement line. What that means is that when a warband comes into play, you can bring it onto the table from any point from your side of the table all the way up to here.
Okay.
From the sides, exactly as if it was marching in. Now, for us, that comes to show how armies usually met in the field. That the skirmishers, the light units, the scouts would first come in, and then they would clear the field, and then they would allow the rest of the army to better maneuver themselves. So you check at your foremost warband. Okay. You see where the line is. And then you see if that line is being obstructed or it has been passed by one of my own warbands. And okay, in this case, the Abomination has went up that line. So that interrupts your reinforcement line, and you have to check your next warband. Okay. So your next foremost warband in this case is the craftsmen, because you'll see that they have advanced further up than the men at arms. Okay. So you draw a line again behind them.
So draw a line behind them.
You draw a line. You actually draw a line like this. Parallel.
Flat. Okay.
Yeah, parallel to your side.
Well, let me pop it out. This is possibly off camera, but I have a line basically right here where my guys can come in from.
Exactly, and that is for both sides of the field. Usually we do this at the very beginning of the turn, so you cannot extend your line, and then slingshot your own warbands. Yeah. But now, for ease of reference and learning the game, we do it now.
Okay. Honestly, I don't really want to ride my cavalry right in front of some archers, because I think that would just be a horrible plan. So I'll have them right in from the other side. So how do I actually come onto the field? Okay, now you assume that it's almost like as if they just walked onto the field. The only restriction here is that you cannot charge. Okay. When you first enter, none of your first 2 actions can be a charge. Okay. You can move twice. We actually check whether a move is legitimate after we have done both moves. So you first move them in there within the distance that you're allowed to, and then we see whether something is a legal move or not. For example, if you had many ranks and you couldn't fit into the table with a single move, you're allowed to move once again,
and then check whether the move is legal.
Okay.
So you assume that you're coming in simply all the way from there. So you move as if you were walking in from these boundaries.
Okay, so my guys would just do a line of guys along here.
Exactly.
And then begin moving from there, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So, cavalry.
Almost as if you were walking in, exactly.
Yeah, has a move of 8. Now, do I have to stay behind the reinforcement line after I start making the move?
You have to be fully behind the reinforcement line when you come in, but you can pass that completely.
Okay, that's fine. So I will have 16 inches of movement total.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see where I can sort of get to here.
We measure the distance from the stand that has moved the most. So if you want to come towards me, you would have to measure the distance from the furthest.
About here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, but this is the one that's furthest away.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to measure from it then. So 16 inches.
About there, yeah.
To here.
When we wheel, we keep one point of the warband steady while we wheel the rest. So that's why we...
I see. So they would come
exactly
to about here, and I'll go just a little short of it.
Clear
to about
there for you.
Here.
Perfect.
That's where they will make it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not bad. That's sort of bringing them in a nice safe zone. And next turn, if your big thing's still there, I can maybe knock a charge off on it.
You get to charge it.
Well, we can hope. You still have an activation, so what are you bringing in, sir?
Now, I'm bringing the brood drones.
Okay.
The brood drones, a little fun fact, it's actually, you saw the force-grown drones?
Yes.
Now, these are grown in vats. Now, the thing is, those that survive, they actually remain in the vats, and they become these guys right here.
Okay.
So you can see these big brutes right here. So what I would do here is that I would rather bring them right nice in the center of the table.
Okay.
To get a little bit of options, be able to countercharge and so on. May I have the tape?
Of course.
Thank you. I have a move of 7. I'm going to go in about 14 inches all the way up to here.
Okay. And then you guys just line up from there.
And then, and then you see your options from there.
I do like the idea that you are sort of pushing back and forth like a line of scrimmage where you can actually bring the rest of your forces in.
Exactly. And what happens is that when you first determine where your reinforcement line is, from there on, like an opponent can actually move past that, and you can have it readjusted only backwards. So you can never really, if you have to see where you have advanced at the very beginning of the round. And then protect that line also, because you don't want your opponent to be taking this line and pushing back.
Yeah. Okay, so round done.
Exactly. Now, what we do is we go over it again. We pick up all the cards.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we decide what order we want them in again, yeah?
Exactly. So we roll a die.
Okay.
To see who goes first.
For me, I get a 1.
I get a 1 as well. Oh, we get to re-roll.
I get a 3.
And I get a 6. I get to play
after
first.
You, sir.
Now, I will play with my brood drones first.
Okay.
I will try to bring them in such a way in which I will block your charge to my abomination. Now, here is what's important. First of all, you're always allowed to move through your own warbands. And if you can see through them because you're of a larger size, you can also charge through them.
Ah, I see.
So my first move is going to be a march of 7 inches all the way up to here.
Okay.
About here. And then my second action is to march again, just so to avoid you charging me.
Yeah.
So right about here. Let's see.
I do like the idea that it has that tactical movement of how an army actually would move in the field to actually say, no, those are dangerous. We need to be careful of that.
Yeah. Now, you would be able to charge through your own miniatures, that's fine, but you cannot stand on top of them. As a matter of fact, if you failed your charge and you are not able to go through your models, to show this confusion that you create, actually both warbands become broken.
Oh, okay.
And that's very difficult, that's actually a very awkward moment right there tactically, and so your opponent can charge you in, break you again, and shatter the entire warband.
Yeah, that's something to be careful of then if you're playing this at home.
Yeah.
Okay, but my activation then?
Absolutely.
Okay, I actually decided to go with the Steel Legion again to start off the round because this unit here is looking a little shaky. I think I can finish them off, and then in maybe a following round, if this is still alive, swing these guys back around and maybe get a rear attack on you.
Definitely, and that's actually a risk that I had to take. If I was gonna play with the Brood Drones first, then that meant that that's it for this round. Then I am you can charge me with your knights, but if my objective is to save the Abomination, I would have to do whatever I could.
Yeah. Okay, so I would have 10 attacks.
Absolutely.
2, 4, and I will inspire first.
Yes. That's I will need some very bad rolling on your part to save them. Let's see.
Okay, so my clash is 3 becomes 4.
Oh man. Oh man,
that missed.
Yeah, that's 8 guys out.
Yeah.
I have a defense of 2. You have a great cleave.
2 bases.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm broken again.
Yeah.
But now, most likely, I'm gonna lose my entirety of.
No, here's the thing. Your unit activated last turn became unbroken and attacked, yeah? But if I had done that to a unit that had already activated, and I activated before you in this round, and then broke you again, you would be shattered and run away?
Exactly.
Got it.
We see, we determine the warband's current size by what is the size that they started this round. So, exactly, if I had, right now, you would have to destroy only 2 of my warbands to break them again. I would shatter, and I would have to run the table. Actually, quite like what is going to happen right here. So 8 resolve checks.
Yeah,
text, I have a resolve of 2. I don't have a larger warband, so that's 1s and 2s. Let's see. Unfortunately, my guys run away. Run away in fear.
Excellent. Okay, so now I'm out of combat. Do I get to move or do anything else, or am I just there for the turn? Looking at the dead bodies?
You are there for the turn. Okay. However, now you inspired and then attacked.
Yes.
Sometimes it's tactically wise to only attack, destroy a warband, and then you get another action to charge again or move.
Ah, okay. So you can bounce unit to unit if you have the actions to do it.
The thing is though that if you first attack and then charge, you will not have a third action for you to attack again.
True, but I stop you getting the charging bonus.
Exactly.
But I suppose you could inspire. It depends what you're going into.
Sometimes there are warbands, you know, that they're very good at the impact. So sometimes they're able to finish a warband off and then charge to the sides.
Cavalry are the big brutes. If I was taking that off, I'm denying you impact attacks. So
exactly. Or sometimes it will be very good of you to charge this way a warband that you know also has impact. Impact attack, so you take away that from me.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so that's my activation done.
My next warband is going to be the Thresher Abomination.
Okay, big guy's going.
So what I'm going to go for here is I will try and damage your warband. So I have, right now, I don't have impact attacks because I'm already in combat. So I will inspire and I will attack you. I have a class of 2, +1 for the inspiration, class of 3. I have 10 attacks, so let's see what that is.
I've given you 10 there, I believe.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay,
so that's
1, 2, 3s.
1, 2s, and 3s. These are...
all those 6s.
These are misses.
The 4s,
I know.
the 5s. The 4 land.
Yeah, 4 land. I have flurry. I have a reroll. So let's see. 4 misses and 7 hits overall.
Okay, 7 hits overall. Thank you, sir.
I have a defense of 3, -1.
Yeah.
2. You don't get the shield bonus.
So 1s and 2s. It's not bad. 3 die.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So from where we are here, I will take these 2 away and 1 of these. And I'll just pop that into this base just for handiness.
Now I have 3 resolve checks.
Yes.
You have a larger warband, you get a +1 to that, but -1 because I have this terrifying special rule.
Okay.
So that is a resolve of 2 +1, -1, so 2.
Okay, so...
that's pretty good. 1 guy died.
Yeah, 1 more dice. I will take that to the bank all day.
Yeah, that's a pretty good rolling. Good.
This is one thing I always tell people. As soon as the cameras are on, mathematical laws of probability out the window. Every time.
Yeah.
Okay, so done?
Yeah.
Okay. My next one I went for was actually the men-at-arms.
Great.
Now, you actually really have blocked me here. I can't actually reach you with them, so I think I am just going to charge your big guys.
The men-at-arms are the infantry, so you can actually...
Oh, sorry, there. I thought it was my knights.
So you can actually probably end it here with a few good... I was hoping to get the warband broken. You stood fast there.
Yeah.
So you get to attack me back.
So 12 becomes 13 attacks.
Exactly.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You can inspire. So that's normally, as a matter of fact, what you could do if the objective was a different one, now it would be a very good idea to only attack me in hopes that you would deal 2 wounds to me, destroy the abomination, and then charge my brutes from the flank.
Yeah, because then if they're wanting to charge, say, the knights, they would then have to actually disengage and then go for the charge.
Exactly, and as a matter of fact, charging from the flank has added bonuses as well. So when your opponent is rolling resolve checks, he gets to re-roll successful checks when he's being when that person is being charged to the side.
I suppose that's the whole thing of psychologically, crap, we're being attacked in the side, crap,
exactly.
we're being attacked
They
in the
don't
back.
get the sealed bonus if they have it, and they get to re-roll successful results.
Okay, so I will inspire just to go for the 1s, 2s, and 3s and see if we can finish this.
That's a lot of hits, yeah.
That'll work. So that's missed, miss.
Now the abomination is tired, struggling to fight. Let's see. I have a defense of 3. You don't have a cleave, so that's 1, 2s, and 3s. Let's see how many 1, 2s, and 3s I can roll here. Not enough. You do 4 wounds, and that is kills my abomination. Well played, sir.
Good game. Well, everybody, that is the basics of how to play Conquest. Drop your comments in below. Tell us what you think of the game mechanics. Honestly, I want to actually go away and play a full game of this now. This has kind of whet up my appetite for, you know, the blood sport that is. Well, everybody, comments in. We'll move on. See you in the next one.
We hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.